We are going to get right into this video today. I will tell you exactly what we are going to cover. We are going to cover education, employment, recreation and vehicles, taxation, burial and insurance, and of course, the best category for last is going to be housing benefits. All of what Minnesota brings for our veterans. On a more personal level, this is obviously a very serious topic. On a personal note, thank you very much to all of our men and women who have laid it on the line for this country. I do not think we as a society, frankly, do enough for you guys. I think if you go serve our country, it's fine for me if you live here for free for the rest of your life. So we appreciate your service greatly. And if you are a vet, if you have served, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you guys, learn a little bit about you, maybe where you served, what you did, what you've seen, if for no other reason than to give the rest of us a chance to say thank you very much. So we're going to jump right into it, and our first category is going to be education benefits for veterans in Minnesota. First topic we are going to talk about is education benefits for you guys out there, you heroes, veterans. So let's get into that. First, the biggest one of the bunch is going to be the Minnesota GI Bill, and this is different than the federal GI Bill, just to be clear. So what this is, a program offering $15,000 in lifetime educational assistance to veterans. And how it works, eligible vets and veteran spouses and children, you guys need to apply and you can receive up to $5,000 per academic year. Recipients must be Minnesota residents, of course, under age 62 and enrolled at a participating Minnesota institution. And this is going to cover everything. This is going to cover tuition, diploma, undergraduate programs, test-related costs like admission, licensing, thing like that. So a lot of your educational expenses will be directly covered by this bill. That's likely to be the biggest one out there. Up next, however, is the Minnesota Veteran Education Assistance Grant. Now, what this is a one-time $750 grant for veterans who have completely used up federal GI benefits, and this is designed to help finish up a bachelor's degree. Who qualifies? Again, you must be a Minnesota resident and you must have fully exhausted all of your federal education benefits. It's paid directly to the institution or reimbursed to the veteran after verifying the expense. So this one's going to give you a one-time $750 credit to finish your degree. Pretty easy way to think of that one. Next up, we're going to have the Surviving Spouse and Dependent Education Benefit. I think this is a very cool one. This one's got some teeth to it as well. So what is this? This provides free tuition at Minnesota public college and universities until a bachelor degree is earned, plus an additional $750 per year for books, supplies, room and board, things of that nature. Who's eligible? This applies to spouses and dependents of veterans who died on active duty or from a service-connected disability and who meets Minnesota residency requirements. So this is a powerful one. Full tuition plus $750 a year for veteran families. Big deal. Last but not least in this category, we're just going to hit the Minnesota National Guard State Tuition Reimbursement Program. This is a program for Minnesota National Guard members to be reimbursed for 100% of tuition costs for a lifetime max of 144 semester credits. And this coverage is going to include associate's degree, bachelor's degree, professional's degree, and certificate programs. So Minnesota does have a nice slew of educational benefits for our veterans. The next category of benefits for veterans we are going to get into is going to be employment benefits. And if you are a veteran considering Minnesota, you're going to be happy to hear I think Minnesota offers an outstanding array of employment benefits that are tailored directly for veterans, and we're going to chat about all of them right now. So first up, the thing to understand is Career Force. This is your one-stop shop for employment support in Minnesota. They have dedicated veteran employment representatives who will help you translate your military experience and service into civilian skills, connect you with employers, and go as far to offer personalized coaching. This is all at no cost, and you will find these Career Force locations statewide where you can get one-on-one help with resumes, interviewing, networking. This is definitely the place to start here in Minnesota. These reps knows how to get veterans noticed. Number two, thanks to Minnesota's Veterans Preference Law, veterans are going to have a leg up when applying for public sector jobs, and here's how it works. So if you are a non-disabled veteran, you get plus 10 points on competitive hiring exams. Now, if you have a service-connected disability, that goes up to 15 points. So you're going to get 10 to 15 points added to your score on these public sector jobs as a result of your service. And just to put a little icing on the cake, if you are a veteran who separated after 9/11, again, public sector jobs, you meet the minimum qualifications, you are guaranteed to be in the top 5 candidates to be interviewed. This applies at the state, county, city, and school district levels. So whether you want to work for the DMV or a local school district, those points matter. Job security. Minnesota also has some protections here, and just to make it real simple, once you're in, veterans employed in public roles cannot be let go arbitrarily in Minnesota. If an employer wants to terminate your employment, they must show proven incompetence or misconduct, and even then, you're entitled for your hearing. It is a challenging affair for a Minnesota employer in a public sector to cut a vet, so you've got some real protections there. As far as deployment and your service, of course, Minnesota is also going to protect that, as we should. It's the least we can do. So Minnesota law also protects your military status during civilian employment. Employers cannot ask about your military service during hiring, and they cannot fire or penalize you because you serve in the Guard or Reserves. And if you're called to active duty, you're entitled to up to 4 years of military leave with your job and benefits waiting for you when you return. You just have to reapply within 90 days of discharge. Moving on, there's a few more veteran-focused support type organizations that are definitely worth knowing about. Beyond government support, Minnesota has organizations like the MACV, which is the Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans. They provide job coaching, mock interviews, again, more resume support, connections to veteran-friendly employers. So that's going to be another key resource. If you have a service-connected disability, they can fund training, education, job placement, and potentially even help you start your own business. So again, it really starts with Career Force and the Minnesota Department of Veteran Affairs. Start with these guys. They have lots of resources at their fingertips and can definitely get you connected into the places and pathways that are going to help you most on this avenue. By the way, if you are finding this information helpful, my name is Chris. If we have not met before, I am a lifelong Minneapolis, Twin Cities resident, a real estate agent myself, my business partner Trevor. We like to get out into these communities and frankly, just shed some light on things and show you guys what life is like. If this information is helpful to you, please consider banging that bell below, subscribe so we can keep you up to date on what's going on up here in the Great North. Contact information is also right here and it's also down below. Let's get back to the benefits. We are going to move into category number 3, that is going to be recreation and motor vehicle benefits for our veterans, and there are some pretty cool ones that Minnesota offers, so we'll chat about those here quick. First one, as it relates to recreational opportunities, you can get a free annual state park pass in Minnesota. Who qualifies? Veterans with a VA-rated disability, and that disability can be anywhere from 0 to 100%. You are eligible for a free state park pass. Minnesota's got 75 state parks and recreation areas. There are some fantastic ones. You can use them all for free. That's a pretty cool benefit. You also potentially qualify for a free lifetime fishing license. Now, specifically who qualifies? Veterans rated 100% permanently or totally disabled. And what this is going to give you, just what it sounds like, a free lifetime fishing license. There's more to the story here. If you dig around on the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources websites, they've got a section on there for veterans. It's more than just a free fishing license. Depending on your set of circumstances and things of that nature, you can also be eligible for a free hunting license. You are going to be at the top of the heap when Minnesota does drawings for special hunts like a moose hunt or a wolf hunt, antlerless deer hunt, things of that nature. Veterans are going to get priority there as well. Moving on to motor vehicles, now this is we've got some pretty heavy duty ones that I am going to go as far as to say could save you potentially very literally thousands of dollars here depending on what you drive. So effective January 1, 2024, veterans with 100% total service connected disabilities are exempt. You heard that right. You are exempt from paying motor vehicle sales tax on vehicle purchases. So again, depending on what you're buying, that's saving you thousands of dollars. Hand in hand with that, you get free vehicle registration plates and title services. Again, starting January 1, 2024, veterans with 100% total service connected disability get free registration, you get free license plate, and you get free title services for up to 2 vehicles in the state of Minnesota. So again, that will save you some real money for sure. And we got a table up right here that kind of summarizes some of these. So some pretty cool and very legitimate recreational and motor vehicle benefits for our veterans here in Minnesota. As somebody who's lived here his whole life, I can tell you when it comes to taxes, Minnesota is a state that definitely likes its taxes. It is what it is. So we're going to take a quick look here and see what kind of benefits or options we have for our veterans as it relates to favorable tax treatment in the state of Minnesota. And there are some to be aware of. So first up, income tax benefits. Active duty military pay, including National Guard or Reserve Service, not taxed by Minnesota. Military retirement pay and survivor benefit payments are also exempt from state income tax, as are a number of military disability retirement pay, disability compensation, dependency and indemnity compensation. Most of these military pays, do your own research, but most of these are going to be not included in your taxable income in the state of Minnesota. You can also get a military tax credit for past service. Veterans with a federally adjusted gross income below $37,500 may qualify for a non-refundable tax credit up to $750. Now, this is going to be for individuals who served at least 20 years and have 100% total and permanent VA disability rating. A cool one. Subtraction for military pay. Does anybody want to pay less taxes? I know I do. Since 2016, Minnesota permits a subtraction of military retirement pay, including pensions and SPB payments, from taxable income. So what this is going to do, it's going to allow you to lower your taxable income overall, and as a result, pay less taxes. We've got another pretty cool tax benefit, but we're going to save that for the section when we get to housing, which is coming up here real soon. I can tell you the good news is Minnesota honors its veterans with secure burial options and federally backed life insurance. So we're going to take just a quick minute here and buzz through what that means for you. So Minnesota itself maintains 4 state veterans cemeteries, and you are going to find those in Little Falls, Duluth, Preston, and Redwood Falls, Minnesota. And these offer free burial for qualifying veterans, the whole 9 yards, the gravesite, the liner, the headstone, perpetual care, completely free. Spouses and dependents may also be buried there for a very modest fee. I believe the fee is currently less than $1,000. Something to consider there. So the veteran themselves is free and the family can be taken care of for a very low cost as well. We also have Fort Snelling in the state of Minnesota. So that's going to be a federal option through the VA for cemeteries. And again, grave sites, flags, headstones, even a presidential memorial certificate, all can come at no cost pending on the circumstances. As it relates to life insurance, I wish I had something to tell you unique to Minnesota. Minnesota does not have any specific programs that I could find. As a veteran, you're going to qualify for several VA-backed programs, of course. The VA Life, the Service Group Life Insurance, Veterans Group Life Insurance, and there's a sneaky one in there. There is also Veterans Mortgage Life Insurance, which we're going to come back to in the housing section in a minute. So you definitely have access to the federal insurance programs in the Minnesota, and we do have some pretty good burial programs and benefits as well for our vets. All right, we saved the best category for last. Of course, that is going to be housing benefits for our veterans here in Minnesota. So we are going to get right into it. I feel like I need to mention on the federal level, all of you veterans have access to the federal VA loan program. This is a great loan product that helps you get into a home. You can put 0 down, you avoid mortgage insurance, you get competitive rates. Very good product. Again, that's available on the federal level, but just something to be aware of. So we're going to try and mainly focus on Minnesota's benefits here, and we bring a couple pretty significant ones to the table. So the first thing Minnesota offers our vets is the homestead market value exclusion for disabled veterans. That's a mouthful. What does that mean? What does that translate into? If you are a veteran with a 70% or higher service-connected disability, you can exclude up to $150,000 of your home's market value when calculating property tax. So this is angling to cut your property taxes down. If you are 100% permanently and totally disabled, that exclusion now rises to $300,000. So that is a substantial annual savings that applies directly to the property taxes on your primary residence. Now, also, the news is good. Surviving spouses and qualifying caregivers may also be eligible. You need to connect with your county veteran service officer to apply for this one. Next, now this is not unique to Minnesota, but just after doing a little bit of research, I think this is a very sneaky one to be aware of, and that is the Veterans Mortgage Life Insurance Program. So this is a federal VA benefit, and it's specifically for those who have used a specially adapted housing or SHA grant. If you qualify, what Veterans Mortgage Life Insurance, or VMLI, we will cleverly call it, what that does is provide up to $200,000 in mortgage protection paying off your home loan if you were to unfortunately pass away early. It ensures that your surviving spouse, the family, are not left with a big mortgage debt. To use this, you have to be under 70 years old. As I already mentioned, you have to have received an SHA grant for home modifications, and you need to apply through the VA regional office. If the worst were to happen, the insurance pays the lender directly, not your estate, but it is a very powerful layer of security for your family should something go amiss. From here, we're going to really focus on layering some Minnesota programs that when you layer with federal VA programs, can become really powerful tools for vets to help stretch their budgets. And start with is the Fix-Up Loan. This is a program in Minnesota that offers $2,000 to $75,000 in home renovation funding at below market interest rates. There's no down payment, up to a 20-year term, perfect for updating things like windows, HVAC, accessibility features. There are, of course, some conditions and criteria you need to meet. There is also the Rehabilitation Loan Program and Emergency Accessibility Loan Program here in Minnesota, both offering deferred loans with no monthly payments or interest if you stay in your home for 10 to 15 years. These would be ideal for somebody like a low-income vet needing emergency repairs on their homes. Again, these are not exclusive to Minnesota, but when you pair them with a VA renovation loan or a VA energy efficient mortgage, both of which allow you to roll improvement into your VA-backed loan with no added down payment. The Minnesota homestead exclusion, that's probably the biggest one. That can literally save you thousands. VMLI is definitely worth looking into. Your family is completely covered if something happened. If you are looking for help relocating to Minnesota as a veteran, right now there is no active relocation official program yet. However, there is very promising legislation on the way right at the moment. So currently, your go-to resources are going to be LinkVet and your county veteran service officer who can guide you through housing and benefit options. If you're far from an office, Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs outreach programs can definitely assist you. On a personal level, vets that we work with, if you're shopping for a home with us, you're paying nothing. Our service is absolutely free to you. We pick up the broker admin fee. I feel like that's the absolute least we can do for someone who has, quite frankly, laid their life on the line for this country. So those are going to be Minnesota's housing benefits for our veterans. That is going to do it today for our video on veteran benefits here in the great state of Minnesota. If you've got a question, comment, or even some sarcasm, feel free to drop it below. We love to hear from you guys. And again, we cannot say thank you enough to the men and women who have truly laid it all on the line for this country. I think it's important that we all remember that. So my name is Chris. Contact information is below if we can help you. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you guys again real soon on the next video.